Okay, so welcome everybody to New Space, right as we're coming to the end of this series of the Om meditations, the Om Grove. And of course, it's like, the third to last meditation of, I think, the fourth time that we've gone through this whole thing. I finally kind of have how to approach it. Anyways, I ended up downloading. So this is Heather Ur, and I just want to share a couple of shots first of all. So this one, well, actually no, I'll start with this one. So this is the image from the Karen Cater book, the Om Grove, and I do share these images in the little write-up that I put on the aisle, as I love them so much. And I know I shared before that if you go to her website, Hedingham Fair, you can get the entire series of her own drawings as cards, and I find that they're fabulous for making notes. So when you meditate, so that you've got your own place to note down how the tree speaks to you. And then the other one that I wanted to share was this one. Is it? Now why? I should have done that bigger. Here we go. There we go. So this is the image of Heather from Om, the Celtic Oracle by Peter Propogation. And so again, I love this particular oracle so much, and the images on it. Very evocative. So that's a good one to meditate to as well. And the last, so this is the image that it's perhaps a little, I'm going to make this bigger as well. So this is the one that we're going to meditate to. And it certainly does have some elements of the Propogation card. So I will invite you to drop into your meditative space. I'll start the music. So we start with reading the poem from the Celtic Tree Calendar Poem Cycle by Beryl Bagant or Bagant. And this starts with a little snippet from a poem, Ode to Solomon, that says, "Blessed is the man and woman who grows as these trees and flowers grow, who transforms darkness into light." So this is the poem for Heather. She crossed my palm with dried white heather, this black-haired gypsy woman in the urban market square. Small flowers crunching on warm skin, curved stalks pointing, directing towards another time, another place, another truth. And I saw you striding urgently across an earthy Scottish moor, struck by a moon of gracious wisdom in those initiating midsummer nights, as you searched for your blossoming voice. And on the longest day you were up with the sunrise, waiting for the spreading triple rays to silently transform and link labyrinthine roots with butterfly spirits who feasted on stems of affinity and blessed you with the threefold nature of the universe. But time gave both darkness and moon glow, for she was a wisp of cloud that the wind blew away. And you learned to stand alone, to live inside yourself, and unfold an inner light, while scholars of bees moved within your aura to metabolize the calmness of your spirit. And as the Romany foretold, your heathered words are gathered now in countless bouquets of wisdom. And when the white sheep sleep comes and your shedding is done, no urn will hold this redolent dust. Your essence will uncloak the one true name to saunter through the galaxy of celestial Urania, one in body, mind, and spirit, with petaled star people, perpetual rainbows, and echoes of fragrant beginnings. So breathe into that place within. Allow yourself to drift on those words down to that sacred place within, where you open yourself to connect with the energy of Heather, with Ur. And allow the journey to start to unfold, and following where Heather leads to open you to your own inner wisdoms. We're going to slowly start the journey back. Just take a moment, a last moment, to be open to any final insights or messages from Heather. And allow this poem to flow over you as you start to bring your awareness back to your breath. It's a bit of a long one. This one is from Bathing in the Phase Breath by the Woodland Bard. From the bonny bells of heather, they brewed a drink long syne. They say was far sweeter than honey, was stronger far than any wine. I was born onto moorland turf, softened by wells where summer boaters surf. Stark moorland beauty in my vision, through its shrouding mist, I made my decision. To embroider my life between the strands of raw grasses that are spun into this land. Sometimes the sun briefly ignited the folded hills, but the mist was the life here that watered the stills. When summer came into the year, the heather bells grew before winter crawled near. Ready to be plucked for brewing, they would say, of course, to soon drive a cold winter away. But none were alive to tell how this elixir was made, to find the recipe once more. What of me must I trade? The Brewsters of the heather are now covered in stones. Tell me, where did their wisdom depart from their bones? Today the bees hum, and the curlews cry a bitter song, to tempt me to believe this land of heather is not where I belong. But once here a Pict surrendered to a Gaelic chief, asking, please share your secret and spare us from grief. We could pick flower tips of the wild purple heather, boil them with malts and myrtle, watch them blend together. The floral mist and peat smoke could bond us all in peace. Gael and Pict have so much to share. If we could just find the ease. When Gaels and Picts sat close to a fire on a cold night, the steam from the heather ale did cool their heated summer fight. Steam clinged onto cold stones and dripped into their drinking cups. Together they cheered Uisc Bitha, and united they sup. This water of life they then shared together on most days, while they bonded the learning and wisdom of their ways. The Fae of the heather were pleased, of course, that peace lasted well when Fracklane was the source. Come through the heather, around shall we gather. Come Ronalds, come Donalds, come all of thee together, and create drink for our rightful lawful chief. 'Tis the heather that now toasts our belief. So now, when we'll all go together, maybe to pull wild mountain thyme, let's not forget the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie? Go. So, breathe into that sweet heather scent and the peace that it brings and the sweetness that it brings. And allow your breath to bring you back to the space where you sit, to the here and the now. And I'll share just a little of how I experienced Heather. Looking at that image reminded me of walking a few years ago on an Avalonian pilgrimage, very similar to the one that is going to be next year, actually. But I had this bowl, which is just over there, because I just unpacked it, and I carried it with me into this field that was just heather as far as the eye could see, and I wanted to sit there and just sort of imbue this bowl with the energy of it, and I sat down, and then I lay down and just felt how springy and supportive the heather was. And just this, as the words that I ended with, the just that sweetness, the scent of it, and the softness of it. Oh, it was a little prickly, but but it felt soft, and it just speaks of, there's the words of luck and joy and blessings and prosperity that tend to be associated with heather. But I just had this sense of the expanse of it, the abundance of it, that almost this cosmic sense of, that gentle, soft, sweet support is ever present and endless, limitless. So that's what I would like to leave you with as my little experience of heather. So I will thank you for joining on the recording, on the Zoom recording in Zoom land, in my new space, almost unpacked. There's things to go on the wall, but this is the new space, and we will see you again in a couple of weeks.